Hello, my name is Leo. Today we are going to talk about linear motion. First to say there are two types of linear motion, uniform and non-uniform. In uniform linear motion, the body has constant speed and it doesn't have acceleration. But in non-uniform linear motion, body has acceleration, so it speeds up or slows down during movement, so its velocity changes. Now, what is distance and what is displacement? Distance is a length between 2 points of body's motion. For example, we have on this picture point A and point B. And distance is the length from A to B. Distance is a scalar, meaning that it only has magnitude, and it doesn't have direction. Distance is marked as delta S. Delta is indicating this change in distance, so the change of positions between A and B. And displacement is vector, meaning that it has a magnitude and also has direction, so it also includes in which direction the body moved. It's marked as delta X. Now velocity. What is velocity? Velocity is proportion of distance and the time interval in which the body made that distance. It can be instantaneous or average. Instantaneous speed is speed at any time given while body's movement. But that moment in moving is actually endlessly small time interval, so time interval which is very close to the zero. So we can say that's only one moment. And average velocity is a velocity in some bigger time period, arbitrarily chosen. And relative velocity is some kind of velocity when we have two bodies, and on one of them, for example, on the first body is observer, which observes the second body, and the first body and the second body have some speeds, so relative speed is their difference. Acceleration is proportion of velocity change and the time interval in which that velocity change happened. It can be also like velocity instantaneous or average. So instantaneous acceleration is when we choose very small time interval, so one moment in body's motion, and average acceleration is acceleration at some bigger arbitrarily chosen time interval. And relative acceleration is again, like in relative speed, difference in the acceleration of two bodies. Now the first type is uniform movement, so that type of linear motion in which the body moves by constant speed and it doesn't have acceleration. And for this movement we have formula that x, which is position of the body at some point of time, is the sum of the starting position x0, so x at 0 time, plus distance that body made up to that point of movement. And that distance is velocity times time, which is formula derived from the basic formula for velocity, which is velocity as proportion of distance and time. And from this formula for position we can also derive formula for distance, which is sum of the starting distance plus the distance body made to that point. And the second type is non-uniform movement. It is when body has constant acceleration but its velocity changes during movement. So for this type of movement we have formula for velocity, so v at any time given for body's movement, which is sum of the starting velocity v0 plus a times t, acceleration times time, which is again formula derived from the basic formula for acceleration. So acceleration is velocity divided by time. We have also here more formulas, and the last one is interesting because of its speed. So it says that distance s is product of the speed and time, but this speed is a half of the sum of the starting distance, starting velocity, plus the velocity at some time given. And that's reasonable because v0 plus v divided by 2 is actually arithmetic value of that two velocities, so of the starting and that velocity. And non-uniform movement is actually based on the second Newton's law of motion, which is the basic law of movement. It says that force is product of mass and acceleration. So if we know body's mass and the acceleration it moves, we can also calculate the force that acts on the body.